A very good morning to one and all connected with us through all across the country. I am Akshay Singh Ranawat and I welcome you all on behalf of CCS Niam Jaipur in the webinar session on the subject an overview on Asia's largest drip irrigation site and drip to market agro corridor, that is DMAC, and innovative agro marketing model in DMAC to double farmers' income. I request all the participants, for those who are not speaker currently, kindly to keep their devices on mute, please. Thank you. The webinar is organized by CCS Niam Jaipur in association with Krishna Bhagya Jal Nigam Limited, Government of Karnataka. CCS Niam Jaipur is the National Institute of Agricultural Marketing Jaipur is a national level premier institute specialized in offering training, research, consultancy and education in the field of agricultural marketing. Before moving further, I would like Sita Nair to kindly throw some light on the project that is DMAC. Over to you, Sita.
Thank you, Akshay. Good morning, everyone, and I welcome one and all to the webinar today. Drip to Market Agro Corridor is an initiative jointly being implemented by Krishna Bhagya Jal Nigam Limited, one of the water corporations of Government of Karnataka, and also Department of Agriculture. Basically, this provides, this is an extended project of Asia's largest drip irrigation site, which is at Ramthal in Bagalkot in the northern part of the Karnataka. So the project is at present providing access to drip water, drip irrigation to almost 15,000 farmers, and it is irrigating 24,000 hectares of land. So as we know, northern part of Karnataka is a semi-arid region, and farmers earlier were struggling to have access to irrigation, and mainly the irrigation there was rain fed. So people were mainly dependent on the rain, and what they could maximum grow is a one seasonal crop. So now, because of access to drip infrastructure, which is one of the largest in the Asia, farmers are now having access to drip infrastructure, and they are able to grow two crops, and also have increased their productivity. So, as we are aware, drip infrastructure, drip irrigation provides more productivity as well. The productivity has increased, and this in turn has helped farmers to grow more and earn more. So the DMAC is an extended project of drip infrastructure. I mean, laying the drip infrastructure. So where we are also providing farmers with backward and forward linkages. This is a pilot program project which has been initiated at Ramthal, Bagalkot. The same program will be implemented in 5 other areas in other 5 other semi-arid regions of Karnataka in another 3 to 5 years. So this is the overall project, and we would discuss about the same, how the innovative model of marketing has been inbuilt in DMAC in our further sessions.
Thank you so much, Sita. I think it is a very clear-cut explanation of how the project is going to function. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce all of us with today's both the speakers, that is Mr. K.P. Kulkarni and Mr. Karpan Chetty Somasundaram. Mr. R.P. Kulkarni is currently associated with Krishna Bhagya Jal Nigam Limited, Karnataka, as the chief engineer. He has also served as the chief engineer of Public Works Department under Government of Karnataka. Mr. Kulkarni has represented Government of Karnataka in various seminars and conferences and has been instrumental in driving the change and farmers' welfare in Ramthal drip irrigation project. Up next, Mr. Karpan Chetty Somasundaram. He is currently associated with EY, that is Ernst & Young, as a senior manager in advisory services. He comes with an experience of 20 years in areas of agribusiness, business incubation, agri-entrepreneurship development, management consultancy, innovation, and agri-investment. Mr. Karpan Chetty has also got ABI CRISAT, the Best Incubator Award for DST, Government of India. He has also worked in more than 8 countries on agribusiness development across Asia and Africa. Sir, both of you, I welcome you all, both on behalf of CCS Niam Jaipur. Now, moving further, we'll be moving to the presentation for today that from Mr. R.P. Kulkarni. Sir, if you are connected, over to you.
So, the National Institute of Marketing, Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur, so who is coordinating this webinar. I will be very happy to share the technical details of Ramthal drip irrigation project. So well back in 2014, this project got approved, and work on this started during 2015, and 2017 we commissioned this project. As far as the project is concerned, it is situated in Karnataka, so very near to Almaty Dam. So Almaty is the headquarters for KBGNL project, and it is around 40 kilometers from our Almaty headquarters. And the source for this project is the backwaters of Narayanpur Dam. As far as source is concerned, the source is very sustainable. So as such, there is no problem for providing water for this drip irrigation project. As the demand what they give, we usually reserve this in our annual water allocation, and we can take the permission, and as per the requirement of the project, we release them the water. So the total cost of the project is around 786 crore, and already 5 years maintenance period is included into this. As far as civil components is concerned, from the Narayanpur Dam with a jack well and high capacity vertical turbine pumps. So initial reach of this project is through canal only we are doing, and stage 2 what we are calling, that is Ramthal drip. So from stage 1 we are collecting the water, and then again we are lifting the water and storing in a groundwater reservoir, and from there we are lifting. So this total project we are divided into 2 parts. One is the east side of the project, and another is the west side of the project. 2 agencies, mainly Jain Irrigation and Netafim, they are associated with us, and they have completed this project. As for activity is, for us, airport available to this is Hubli Airport, and shortly Bijapur also will be on the airstrip, or else Belgaum is under nearest airport that is available. And as far as road connectivity is concerned, National Highway passes through this. So as far as connectivity, transportation and all, there is no problem at all. The area is very well connected. In the phase 1, we are lifting the water from our Narayanpur reservoir backwaters. So always water and level is maintained there. And from there, we are lifting it to a second stage, giving it to the drip irrigation area. So this is, if you see this, it's a map. So this is east side and west side of our project. And later on, I will show you how we have actually done it. Next. So this is the schematic diagram of the project. So the blue line, what we are seeing is the source. That is Narayanpur backwater is the source. And there we have constructed the jack well with high capacity VT pumps. And from there we are lifting it to the main canal. From the main canal, again we are leading it to the groundwater reservoir, where we are storing the water that is required for our drip irrigation. And from there, for each this one field, we have done it 500 hectares area we have marked, and there where we are giving them the primary filters, secondary filters, and then it is further area of 500 hectares is divided into 50 hectares. This one, and for the 50 hectares, we are providing the individual farmers in individual farmers area. We are providing the this one, and the field the drips are laid, and through the drip water is provided to the plants. So these are the various components of the our scheme. If you see the scheme, we can divide the scheme into 3 stages. One is the civil engineering constructions, so that is right from the headworks till to the field. And second is the drip, that is the actual drip what we are laying in the field. And third is the marketing of these products. So this is how we have divided this project into 3. This one, and almost now everything is in the shape and everything is happening in the field. Yes. So if you see technicality of this providing water to individual farmers, if you see, as I told you earlier, we have divided this total area we are covering is 25,000 hectares. So 25,000 hectares we are divided into 2, east and west, each around 12,500 hectares. And further, this 12,500 hectares is divided into 500 hectares plot. And further, this 500 hectares plots we are divided into 50 hectares plot. So that is the last division what we are having. And for that, we are providing this. And how we are given this is our 24 cycle operations we have done. So right from the morning 6 o'clock, if we start, next day 6 o'clock, we are completing 1 cycle. And during this cycle, as per the requirement and as per the crop pattern and all, either it is a 72 minutes cycle or it is wherever it is required, it is a 90 minutes cycle. So today, if I give at 6 a.m. One particular plot, I start this one. Again, the next day at 6 o'clock, he will be receiving for the next this one. That's how in a 1 cycle, we are covering entire area. So both east and west side. So this is, we can show how it is happening. Just I will illustrate how we are providing the water. So this is the last 50 funded. See, this is a farmer level plot, which is a 50 hectares. So for this, we have through our cycle this one. So the daily cycle what we are providing. So morning 6 o'clock, if it starts, if this farmer gets at 6 o'clock, next day again at 6 o'clock, he will receive the water. And at the each farmers this one, we are given the risers, and through these risers the drips are laid, and through the drips water is provided to each plant. Next. So this is the operations, this one. So the first 6 o'clock, if I start, the what that is blinking, to those fields we are providing the water in the first 72 minutes or 90 minutes. So next, then it will switch over to the next next fields. So that is again. So like this, in a day, we are covering almost all the plots who are given their requisition. If any farmer doesn't want to take the water, that also is addressed in the system, and we need not. Therefore, this one we are not providing the water. So in the previous this one, he will give the request. So once in a week, on weekly basis, the requests are received from the farmer, and as per their request, water is catered through this automatic handling of the system. There is no manual handling. Everything is done automatically, and the last field gets the water through our this operation cycle. Next. So this for completing this, we had faced many problems. That also I should answer here. So one thing is the farmers' capacity building. So that where we are giving more stress now. As far as civil engineering is concerned, we have completed everything. We have tested, and as per our tests, the results are seen in the field. And as per the capacity of to build this one, we got Water and Land Management Institute, through which we are giving training to these farmers. So how to operate, how to lay the drips, and how to make maximum utilization of water. So without wasting much. So for this, our local institutes, Agriculture Institute, as well as Valmi Water and Land Management Institute, they are helping us, and very regularly we are conducting training for these people, and also as a cross visits we are sending them outside also to learn about the drip irrigation. Another thing, after doing this, there was the question of how to market the products. So for that we have linked with DMAC and Young and is they are with us, and they are helping us in doing this agriculture market agro corridor. They are helping us. So right from the selection of the seeds till its harvesting and then marketing, DMAC, in the DMAC we have included it, and we are shortly going to have various offices in this area, so that the farmer can be very close to the marketing agencies, and he can get the maximum benefit out of this scheme. So the farmer need not, in all this one we are helping them, right? We are sharing the knowledge, and right from the selection of seeds, crop pattern, and then how to cultivate, how to harness, and then how to market. These areas all we have covered this one, and there are many good feedbacks also from the farmers who have been benefited by this, and even many farmers through water users societies, they are coming forward and they are asking for exporting these products out of country also. So that is our this one vision. So all the farmers who are there in this area should get their income should increase. That is our motto. So with least cost, they should get maximum benefit. That is the motto of this Ramtal drip irrigation scheme. So if any questions or any this one are there, I'm here to answer you. And I think you people from outside Karnataka, if you are want to visit, definitely we'll be happy for that, and definitely will show the Ramtal drip irrigation project, and definitely the products, the grains or what we have grown should reach not in just each and every corner of India, also abroad also. That is our planning, and that is our vision, and definitely to achieve this I require everyone's support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kulkarni. I think the presentation was pretty clear and very nice that all the participants must have understood. So a small request, we'll be taking all the questions pertaining to the presentation after both the sessions are done. So we'll be moving towards the next presentation for now. And so Mr. Karupan Chetty, I request you to kindly share your presentation. Over to you, Mr. Somasundaram.
So, good morning, Akshay. Good morning, everyone. Once again, I'm really sorry that Karupan Chetty is having some technical problem in communicating. He is not audible. So, on behalf of him, I will present the slides. Will that be okay, Akshay? Can we go ahead?
Okay, Sita, no issues. That's the only resort.
In case any queries that is addressed to Karupan Chetty, he should be able to reply to the same in the chat box post presentation.
Oh, perfect. Then not an issue. Kindly share his email address also after the presentation. That would be very nice. Thank you.
Great. So thank you to Kulkarni sir, who has set an amazing beginning to the presentation in giving an overview of what is the project is all about. I would like to focus on the second part of the presentation today, which focuses mainly on what is the inbuilt innovative marketing model that we have as part of the DMAC. However, just to give, just to highlight the significance of this entire project, I would like to add two lines. One is we are all aware that 80% of the water consumption, fresh water consumption, is in agriculture. And when the water is becoming more and more scarce, globally, the solution, everybody are thinking about how do we reduce water footprints in agriculture mainly, so that there'll be a reduced stress on the water availability, fresh water availability. So this will help us in diverting the water required in other sectors, which will eventually prompt the growth in the other sectors as well. This project is significant from that point of view, because since we have connected more close to 15,000 farmers through drip infrastructure, the irrigation efficiency of drip infrastructure is 90%, as we are all aware. So this is reducing water footprints in agriculture. And as an extended approach to this particular project is providing forward and backward linkages to farmers. So we are not just helping farmers in reducing the water usage in agriculture and also have more productivity, more yield, but also we are helping them to have access to market, especially high value market. So how we are increasing their income. So this presentation will be focusing mainly on that. So, sir has already given an overview of the project. So, what is DMAC, Drip to Market Agro Corridor? The objective of the market of DMAC project is, one is to provide quality produce, which will be, quality produce in terms of providing high value agricultural inputs. So we have made access to input companies so that farmers are actually in access with quality inputs, which will eventually help them in coming up with quality produce. You can see the diagram here on the right end, which focuses on what is the approach that we have. So here we are focusing on farmers who have access to irrigation. They will be formed as a cluster. So we have a cluster formation approach. These clusters are in the form of water user associations, and one water user association will be formed for 500 hectares of land, which will constitute one zone. And these water user associations will be provided capacity building and training programs as to how to make effective use of drip infrastructure, which also has fertigation tanks, and also other capacity building in terms of how to get access to market, what is collective marketing, what is collective bargaining, and what is the advantage of having aggregation, and grading and sorting, so that they can actually approach off-takers, off-takers who procure mass products from water user association. All this capacity building program will be provided to them. We are also making, through finance facilitation, we are making the finance available for farmers for their harvest and post-harvest requirements. And we are also providing them custom hiring center for farm machinery. And there is also market availability, which is inbuilt. So we are also bringing mainstream off-takers, mainstream buyers who can directly have a connection with water user association and taking their aggregated produce. So going to how this model actually works. These are the water user cooperative societies. Here, what you see, the structure and function. There'll be 500 hectares of land, and there'll be one water user association for 500 hectares of land. So if you divide total to 24,000 hectares, there'll be 51 such water user association. So at present, we have 51 water user associations who are functioning in Ramthal area. So the model one represents how at present the unique model of agro marketing is actually functioning on ground. So there are individual farmers who will form water user associations. And at the water user association level, so what happens is now people are preparing. They are mainly producing red gram and Bengal gram for the season. So imagine red gram is being produced, and they will approach, all the individual farmers will approach the respective water user association, and they will do the grading and sorting at the water user association level. And the aggregated produce from all the the farmers will be bid through the Water User Association to the prospective off-taker. So what happens at this stage is whenever farmer is coming up with their individual produce, the produce will be weighed and sorted by the Water User Association, and they will issue a challan to the receipt to the farmer. So the farmer is aware what is their weighment, what is his weighment, and what is the quality of the produce he has given, and what is it worth of. So once that receipt is given to the farmer, these Water User Association will take the initiative to aggregate all the produce, and then there'll be an off-taker, a buyer who comes, and they will negotiate with the buyer on the total cost, and then the produce will be lifted by the buyer, and the buyer in turn, once the produce is lifted, the money will be transferred to WCS account, which means Water User Association. They have their own separate account, and the money will be transferred to those accounts. And from that account, Water User Association will again further re-remit it to farmer's individual account. So the entire process is very transparent, and the major advantage here, what farmers are seeing is there is an elimination of middlemen. So when there is an elimination of middlemen, they are getting appreciated price, because there is no commission which is being taken out by the middlemen. There is no extra wastage which is not being taken out. Generally, the local middlemen will take out extra wastage. They will take commission. And if the farmer require immediate cash, then they will have to give 3% extra commission to the agent. So, minus all this, subtracting all this, the farmers are through Water User Association and with direct marketing with the off-taker, the farmer is having an appreciated price for his produce. So this is one of the model which is actually being implemented as of now. And the second model, through again Water User Association, what we are planning to have is through e-auction platform and also warehouse service providers. As of now, we are working on the post-harvest infrastructure for the entire DMAC area. After establishment of post-harvest infrastructure through PPP and other initiatives, maybe farmers will have an appreciated price where they can also store their produce and then have an appreciated price at the later stage when they sell it to the off-takers. So, and also we are exploring on the e-auction platform. We are also making Water User Association equipped with the required documentation and other formalities so that they are ready to bid for the e-auction platform as well. So these are the two innovative models as of now which are working, and this is on the part of the market linkage. But otherwise also Water User Association have got the ability, have got the potential to drive an entire welfare what is required for the farming community in Ramthal area through several other things which I will discuss in the next slide. So if you see through this collective marketing model, what we are promoting for the farmers, what are the major advantage for the farmers as well as for the buyers and processors and bulk buyers, if you see. So the farmer need not travel to different other APMC or other local market or central market to produce his to sell his produce, because of which he is actually cutting down on the transportation cost, and his produce is being procured at the farm gate, at the aggregation center, which is at farm gate. So this is an advantage for farmer. And through collective bargaining, there is better price realization. So we know that always we also, the whole concept of FPO and FIG and farmers collectives is basically because we have to give more voice for the farmers for his produce. So there'll be a collective bargaining here where, farmers coming together will be able to better negotiate a better price for their produce. And minimizing the market intermediaries. Of course, as I said, there is a elimination of middlemen. And usually what happens is whenever off-taker comes, the entire cost of the bagging and transportation, everything will be rests on the off-taker. They will generally take the burden of it. So the farmer is actually will not have to spend extra money on the bagging and packaging and other things. So he also gets an appreciated price because of eliminating all these aspects. So they also have better selling opportunities, as I have told, only because we have collectivized farmers as water user association. They have now access to marketing platform where we can only sell aggregated produce. Such other marketing options are also available for farmers. So now because of water user association and the entire transaction is happening through digital platform, there is a transparency in the transaction also. There is no direct money, in cash, which is involved in the entire transaction. And on the other hand, if you see what are the advantages for the buyers, is buyers generally don't have to go to multiple farmers to get aggregated produce. Rather, they can just approach one water user association and they can get aggregated material at one collection center. So, and also, as the water user association is taking the initiative for grading and sorting the produce at the aggregation center, they are also getting the graded produce. So they can just give what are their buyer expectations, and based on which water user association are providing the graded produce. And they also have direct access to farmers through water user association. So they don't have to personally go and locate the farmer who's growing what crop. And also the customized grading can be provided upon buyer's request, and assured quantity at a given period. So they just have to mention what is the quantity they require to water user associations, and the water user association will in turn ensure that these quantities are aggregated at the aggregation center level. So there are no the same market intermediaries can also be reduced for off-takers also, like the farmers. Off-takers also need not go through market intermediaries in the APMC and other places if they can directly procure from water user association. So these are some of the advantages that we have so far through a couple of transactions that we have done so far. We have come across these advantages from the both sides. And what are the key accomplishments so far which has worked is we have done this transaction through 4 water user associations now, and more than 170 plus metric tons of commodity has already been traded, and 72 farmers are directly facilitated in this trade. They have directly been involved, and close to 74 lakh worth of trade has been facilitated. And we are also initiating a PPP IAD project in coordination with Department of Horticulture, where we can also provide post-harvest infrastructure for the farmers. And we have so far contacted more than 70 plus companies, and the prospective marketing linkage in terms of getting in touch with the prospective companies is still on. So coming to how these water user associations are being trained, because as Mr. Kulkarni sir also mentioned, that it is a very difficult task to convince farmers and bring out leaders from them who can actually lead the entire initiative is a really tricky one. So training and capacity building programs that we are implementing for farmers is actually helping in that direction. So what we generally do is there'll be weekly or periodic study circles that happens at the village level, where our field staff will go directly talk to farmers and water user associations. And there'll be specific monthly training programs that happens. So we have 2 irrigation partners here. One is Jain Irrigation Limited, and we have Netafim Irrigation System. So both of the companies also schedule their training programs on subject specific, especially on the efficient management of the drip infrastructure. And we also provide periodic training programs for the farmers on collective marketing, collective bargaining, and how water user association can efficiently function. And we also have WALBI and CADA who play their role in strengthening the water user association. And other than that, there are also exposure visits which are organized for the progressive farmers and office bearers to take up leadership very strongly. And WALMI has recently organized a exposure visit to few of the representatives of Water User Association to Maharashtra and several other successful Water User Association across the country. So these are the training and capacity building. And on the ICT, we are also recently we have started ICT interventions for farmers mainly because of the lockdown due to outbreak of COVID-19. We were unable to go directly to farmers and provide awareness. So what we have adopted through partnership of Reliance Foundation, we are providing them voice messages. We are also having voice conferences where all the farmers can be connected over phone and we can have a voice conference. So farmers, it will be an interactive platform where subject experts will speak on the subject, and then we will have a interactive session directly with the farmers. So this is kind of a virtual capacity building programs that we are having now. And in addition to the normal IEC materials that we distribute, these two ICT initiatives have been working very effectively among the farmers. So these are few case studies where one Mr. Langamappa is telling that he has sold 73 quintals of red gram and accrued close to 12,000 rupees more than what he would have otherwise got through the normal intermediary marketing. So farmers are expressing that right now they don't have earlier they used to reduce up to 3 kgs per quintal as wastage. Now there is no wastage and things like that I explained. So farmers are happy with this model of marketing. And these are few glimpses of how we are actually going out with outreach programs with farmers, collectives, interactions, training programs, and other interventions. So this is the way how the produce is, graded and sorted and packaged at the aggregation center level, at the Water User Association level, and then given to the off-takers. So what are it's fact that, the project has come to a successful stage where few of the Water User Associations have taken up the leadership in driving the change in terms of directly approaching off-takers, having a interaction with farmers on what are advantages of collective marketing and all that. But there is still a lot of potential for DMAC project to have partnerships with various other off-takers. So these platforms like this, where we present such project, we also think that this is an opportunity for DMAC to get such partnerships, like partnerships in terms of we are looking for. I understand there are many agri startup companies who might have joined the discussion today. So we have a space where the startups or the agro-based companies can come in to provide more agri-based infrastructure to promote mechanization or to have inputs, quality inputs. In fact, we have already signed MOUs with 14 companies earlier, and we are also going to sign MOUs with another 16 companies. So in that terms, we have opportunity where agro companies in terms of inputs as well as offtake, they can have agreements with these Water User Associations. And we are also having opportunity where finance facilitation can be provided. And we are also looking out because Water User Associations are driving this change. We are also looking for CSR opportunities where these CBOs, these Water User Associations as a farmers collective can be further strengthened with CSR intervention. So this is the major objective of we presenting the successful model everywhere, so that we can further the progress through effective partnerships. So this is in brief. Thank you, everyone. If you have any queries, maybe we can respond to them.
Thank you so much, Sita. I think it was a very nice presentation and clear as to what you have made the point very clear. There are a few questions and queries.
Sita, my phone is also.
Hello.
Yeah, Sita, my phone is also working now. So if required, I can also.
Welcome. I welcome you, Mr. Karapan Chetty. Sir, so there are a few questions on the chat box. I would be listing down a few so that you can answer. The first question pertains to, am I clearly audible?
Yes, Akshay.
Yeah, so the first question pertains to whether DMAC has conducted any impact and assessment studies, how the innovative water marketing model is affecting the farmers' economy, and if so, how you see the future projections of the project of the marketing model considering small and marginal farmers. So anybody can take the answer. Anybody can take the questions. It's not.
Casey, you would like to respond to that? So the project has been started from the last year. June. Yes.
Sita, I'll respond.
Yes, Casey,
Okay.
please go ahead.
So from the perspective of the project, it is only from our side in terms of PMU implementation. We started only last year. Overall, the project is only 3 or 4 years old. The impact assessment has not yet been started yet. So it is yet to have the final assessment based on which we can say whether it is scalable or not scalable. But given the current situation and based on the current progress there, we are able to see a very good traction in terms of two things. One is the farmers' acceptance, and second is the benefit for the farmers in terms of market linkages is a very welcome initiative. But in terms of strengthening of the institutions and other things, there are yet to be other resources which need to be augmented in terms of financial resources, and also the enablement of the water user association in terms of providing them the leadership related initiative. So overall, first, what I wanted to reiterate is that impact assessment is not done. It is under the process. It will be done sooner or later, based on which we'll have a clear-cut clarity. But given the current traction, there is a good evidence that this is a scalable model and it benefits the people. Am I clear? Can you go to the next question? Or hello?
The answer was pretty clear. I think none of the participants has any question. All the participants, if there is a question square queries, you can drop in directly at the chat box, or you can connect to us directly also through your mic. So then, sir, we'll be moving towards the next question, which pertains to whether water user associations include farmers include in forward and backward market linkages in decision-making considerations.
True. Actually, the Water User Association is the institutional system which has been created by the irrigation department. Primarily, it comprises of the farmers in that area in clusters, and each and every Water User Association is being empowered to act in terms of management of the water resources through drip irrigation system in case of DMAC. And they are primarily doing two activities. One is forward linkages in terms of market access, which we as a part of PMU also are facilitating them. So they buy the products from the farmer, collectivizes, clean it, grade it, and market it. That is one aspect. They're also working on the backward integration in terms of working with the farmers, in terms of providing certain areas in terms of inputs, and also working with them in terms of facilitating financial resources wherever it is required. So that particular thing in terms of finance and other things is yet to be realized in case DMAC. It is in the initial stages. Of course, they are strongly working on the forward linkages now. Am I clear with the point? Is there any further clarification in this regard?
Can I just add on one point to that, Akshay?
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you. The question was very clear whether there is also decision will be taken by the Water User Association. Yes, whenever we have any market linkage opportunity, this will be clearly discussed with the Water User Association, and the decision will be consultative. So there is a consultative platform and process where water user associations will take a strong role in taking decisions.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
yes. That is how.
here I want to add this one. Water users association, they are the legal entities. That legal status is given to them. So they elect their president also. So all the members they join, and every month they meet, and local decisions also they take, and even we are asking them to carry out the day-to-day maintenance of their channel and all. So they are the backbone of this system. So in irrigation, especially in Karnataka, for this irrigation projects, water users association is a must. And in all steps we are taking to strengthen further, so that we want to give them the role, responsibilities, everything we want to identify and we want to give to them. Government has recognized them, so they got all the powers. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. And I'm sure the being a legal entity. Yes, sir. I think that is how it is going to be. So considering them, they being a legal entity, the face of this institutes will act as an managing organization in between. So, sir, since we are running out of time, we have 3 more questions, but we'll be taking one amongst them, which says, sir, the next it talks about which crops are irrigated by this innovative water marketing model and how the price discrimination affects the cropping pattern of unirrigated crops.
Let me provide you this information. The crops which are now cultivated conventionally in that area are chickpea, tur dal, sorghum, maize, and other things. Due to drip irrigation, the same crops are being cultivated, but the productivity and productivity are improved. There are also few trials with jerkins and also sweet corn. These are the new things which are coming into place there. Maybe Sita or maybe others can add, maybe Kulkarni Sir can add if there are any other points in this regard.
Yes. So one thing is the normal kharif and rabi crop. If you take mainly pulses, and in addition to that, onion is the major produce there. So one thing is the because of the drip irrigation and the productivity enhancement, the entire produce which is being produced has been increased the quantity wise, and recently in terms of crop diversification. Our efforts towards crop diversification, what we are planning to introduce. I mean, the process is already on. One is we have given a new variety of green gram, which is BGS 9, and another is garlic on the buyback arrangement. We are also trying to talk to water user associations and a few off takers on the garlic introduction. So that is something which is in the pipeline. And furthermore, once the post infrastructure and other ecosystem which is required for such crop diversification is being introduced into the project, we are also trying for other crops which is suitable for the climatic conditions there, which are having high market value.
Perfect. I think, Sita, that's this clear, good answer, and which adds on to the clarification of the question. So,
Second. Yeah, Akash. Another thing, here we have done the demo fields. So anything new, both Jain and Netafin, they are doing the demo projects also. So to show the farmers that they can also grow this in their field. And local agriculture institutes and all, they are also doing some R&D on this, and they are also telling the farmers the new varieties and all. So whatever is suitable for this drip, so all that lab experiments are also being carried out in the nearby institutes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for the addition, and I think the made the answer pretty clear. So, since we are running out of time, will we just be concluding? If to the participants, those questions are not answered, kindly take the email address of both of our eminent speakers and kindly connect to them on email address for your questions and queries pertaining to the presentation or even related to the project or any kind of suggestion or alliance you want to have with in relation to the project. Hello. Okay, so as in concluding remark, let's see, we all got information and we got apprised about how this DMSC project is working and about two aspects and how, how bifurcating the land in segments has been is to reach out to a better reach and how elimination of middlemen will be helping. So on behalf of CCS NIAM, I thank all the three speakers, Sita also included. So Mr. RP Kulkarni, Mr. Karupan Shetty, and Sita Nair for your presentation and for clarifying the doubts of the participants. I would also like to thank all the participants for actively taking part and dropping in your questions and queries. I again request all the participants to connect to the eminent speakers through their email addresses if you have any questions or query pertaining. So on this note, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice day. You all can.
Thank you, Akshay. And I would like to thank all the audience. And I regret for my technical snack at my side to come early. And I hope it was useful for all. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir, I think,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Akshay. I would like to thank Mr. RP Kulkarni, sir, for taking time and being part of this and very actively and effectively presenting his part. And also, I thank Casey for being part of this. Though there was a technical snag initially, he responded to all the queries. And I would like to thank all the participants who came here today. I have given the email IDs of the speakers with CCS NIAM. You can reach out to them for any further queries. Thank you, everyone. And if there are any startups or any agro-based companies, we would like to have you on board with us on this project. So kindly reach out to us if you have any prospects on the partnerships. Yeah, thank you so much.
Perfect, Cheetah. Thank you so much. So all the participants and all the speaker kindly leave the meeting room so that we can close the meeting. Thank you so much.
I also would like to thank CCS NIAM, by the way, Mr. Manoj sir and you Akshay and Abhishek and Rahul specifically who coordinated with the entire program. Thank you so much. Thanks again.
On behalf of me, kindly convey my regards to your Director General for permitting us to do this. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure. I'll do the same. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.